what is most critical, especially in the early days, is focusing on product market fit. Building the most amazing product that people cannot live without, and they just have to tell their friends. Like that is the secret sauce. There are companies every day doing this in broad daylight, Apple, Tesla, Traeger. You just got to look. They're building amazing products. And when you do that, the rest kind of falls into place. You know, the marketing, great marketing needs to supplement or needs to help out with communicating the value proposition and what it is that you're trying to do. But great marketing will not mask a crappy product. And so, you know, I think in the early days, it's all about developing the product, focusing on the product. And by nature, that means focusing on the customer.
Give to some of these companies that are just getting started.
Don't have preconceived ideas that you think your product appeals to this certain group of customers. Let the data tell you, because you may be surprised that you think your target audience is women 35 to 50, and you may find that it's got a longer tail on either end of that, or it's got a male component that you hadn't thought of previously. Use your data to identify your audience, and then market to that audience, the right message to the right people at the right time.
It always starts with putting yourself in the shoes of your audience members. Yeah. A lot of what I see companies doing is they meet internally and they go, okay, what do we have to say? What do we want to share with the world? Why is our product amazing? But what's far more effective is putting yourself mentally, emotionally in the shoes of your target buyer. How are people feeling right now who are struggling with the problem? You have to understand that first and put yourself into their behavior patterns. And that's where your marketing plan starts. It doesn't start from you as the company. It starts from that moment of, I need help.
There's three things that I think brands could really benefit from. If I was a brand, I would be thinking about, is my subscription easy to gift? Because often when you sign up for a subscription, you sign up for yourself and it's your email and it's your credit card, which is great. But when you're sending it to someone else, you'd be surprised how many brands don't have that in place yet. The second thing I would say is kind of like the Apple effect. You know, like the last time you bought an Apple phone, like that case is designed to open slowly so you feel special. But to be able to look at these 5 boxes and point to one and say like, oh, I really enjoy opening that box, goes to say that like, are you making your customer feel special? And I think the third thing that brands can really think about, especially in COVID land that we're in, is we're in this together. So are you giftable? Do you feel that specialness of when you open it? And are you conveying that we're in this together?
They had 6-figure revenue numbers in 45 days from adding this.
We've got the mystery box. Mystery boxes are a great upsell opportunity. You've already got somebody committed. They've made it this far. All they have to do is put in their credit card information. It's a great way for you to move excess inventory, right?
A really good way. And this is a really high take rate. Something I've talked to a lot of people about. Yeah, something that every subscription box should absolutely have at checkout.
And so you know this has been very beneficial
for multiple brands that I've talked to and worked with.
Yeah.
For subscription businesses, what are the different policies that brands should have when launching?
There's probably 3 key policies that are the most important to get started with: product liability, coverage for the stock, and then cyber liability. The reason why product liability is so important is when products are not manufactured in the United States, the first company to touch the product ends up being the company that sits first chair in the event that there's a lawsuit. So really, when you look at your insurance program, you should be looking at how it's going to protect your balance sheet. That's one of the most important components. The other one, of course, is the stock. Depending on how you structure the insurance on the stock, you can actually not only cover the damage to the stock, but also the loss of income as a result of not being able to sell it. And then, of course, the cyber liability for us, compromising any of that information could really mean some serious financial pitfalls for the company.
If I could find them on the internet, they became my mentor. Business used to take place behind closed doors. It doesn't anymore because everyone has some sort of social media, a newsletter, a LinkedIn, or what have you. So I just stalked people and I still stalk them. They are my mentors. They just don't know it.
Not everyone is able to give their time, and that's totally understandable. If you can find someone who is, find that person and try to learn as much from them as you can.
Once you establish those relationships, don't show up empty-handed. Like, come up ready to ask questions because they want to help you.
So make sure that you're progressively upgrading your mentorship so that you're able to get new people to help out, because they're going to know things that you haven't even thought of yet. And I always say that if you have a conversation with someone and you get one thing out of it, that's a very worthwhile use of your time.
This is your mentor right here. And there's nothing that you can't be mentored in if you have a Wi-Fi connection and some headphones.
If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how to do that ask and how to make it irresistible. So first, you want to approach people who are not your competition. Maybe they serve the same audience, but they don't compete with you. Make it a win-win. You need to think about what's in it for them, and you need to think about what's in it for you. What's your goal? I encourage you to put their win in front of your win. To take that a step further, show them how it will succeed. If you have case studies of other people who did this type of collaboration with you, share that. Be prepared. Have an outline of how it's going to work, or maybe a video or a web page. Do the heavy lifting. In other words, make it easy for them to participate.
The 5 pillars start here. Successful networking is done before you show up. It's the research that you do in advance, and it's how you go above and beyond to make that impression so that the prospect has interest in taking your call or responding to your email. The second one is networking like a pro. What we can learn from professional athletes, the way they prepare for the big game. The third pillar is all about stop selling and start solving. Turn your orientation around from me to them. How can I help them? When you talk to people that way, you begin to demonstrate that you are a serious business person beyond trying to be a transactional relationship, which is what people hate. The fourth pillar is the value proposition, which is our currency that we can offer to new contacts. And then pillar number 5 is how we establish contacts for life. And if you recall, when you and I first got together, we did so over breakfast, which is the number one way to build a relationship with a new contact.
You know, you won't get to 2,000 or 1,000 subscribers without help. No one did it on their own, right? There's no entrepreneur that did it on their own. So I think what you need to identify is the parts of the business that you really enjoy, double down on that, take the parts that you don't enjoy as much and find somebody that can help out with it. Now you can get creative, right? For example, find somebody that you'll give them the monthly box for free and they'll take product pictures for you. So you have assets for social media. You'll have assets for the website. You'll have assets for, anything you want to do. Like do some trade, right? Maybe you do a trade with somebody that you give them the box, they write one blog a month for you. Now you've got more content out there.